All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Green White Checker TV. Tonight we got Season 5 finale here at Las Vegas. We got our Area 51 Racing League Cup Series tonight. Maxwell Caldwell going to try to clinch the title here tonight. It's going to be trying to beat that number 13 of Ryan Kelly. Right now, 21-point gap from Maxwell to Ryan. Again, a lot of bonus points can come into play, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. Say third on back there, you got Jack Walls, James Ledford, Dalton Hayes rounding out the top 5. And then 6th through 10th, you've got Jim Brooks, Michael Spell, Corey Lane, Chad Wilkes, and Corey Cook. But definitely the ones we're going to be watching for tonight are going to be that 94 and the 13. So those are going to be the two going for the title here tonight. So we'll see as they finish up their qualifying laps who maybe has the advantage going into the race. So we'll step away for just a moment, and then we'll pull up our starting grid in just a few. Alright, qualifying has just completed, so let's go ahead and pull up our starting grid for tonight's race. On pole position is going to be the 23 of Brandon Pasalacqua, grabbing the pole by 2 hundredths of a second, looks like, over the 13 of Ryan Kelly. Again, that's our second place points runner going into this race, and then points leader Maxwell Caldwell in third, so no bonus points for either of them going into this finale. In fourth, you got Mark Brown, Jack Walls in fifth, Todd Merkel 6th, James Ledford 7th, and then Michael Spell rounds out the 8th position. You got 9th through 16th here. You got Chad Wilkes in the 17, Corey Lane, Charles Johnson, Bud Steele, Robbie Richards, Doug Johnson, Nicholas Winook, David Patton. And the remainder of the grid here, you see Art Peck, Dalton Hayes, Diego Vasquez, Dwight Plush, Charles Teed, Jim Brooks, and Mike Morrison. So I am joined in the booth tonight, though, with my esteemed colleague Don Runkle Jr. Apologies. Always glad to have you with me here, Donna. Obviously, we ran this one recently ourselves. However, with the reduced fuel here and the daytime, I think it's going to drive a little differently than we had with our race with the full fuel load, and of course with it being at night.
Oh yeah, that's going to make all the difference in the world. The track's going to be a lot warmer, and it's going to be a little bit slicker out there for these guys. And also with that reduced fuel load, that is going to that should loosen these things up a little bit, shouldn't it?
I think it's going to make them tighter, actually.
That's right, because it's going to put the spoiler up in the air.
Yeah, I think these cars are going to be tight. And honestly, though, I think that could work into Ryan Kelly's hands because, again, he's kind of Mr. Tire Saver. And so I think that right front's going to be a critical tire to keep an eye on there. Like we said, when we ran that full fuel run here a few days ago, that back end really wanted to kick out. So we'll see if that comes into effect as well. But yeah, so first things first, though, both these drivers obviously want to get a lap lead and get a bonus point there. Like I said, that 23 Brandon Pasalacqua was spoiling the qualifying run for those two here tonight at Las Vegas.
Yeah, this should be a good one tonight. Vegas always puts on a really good show. It's pretty wide track here. These guys got a lot of room to race in. Yet, like you were saying before, the track is going to be a little bit warmer, so that's going to cause these cars to handle a little bit, maybe not exactly how these guys want. It might be a little bit slick out there, but I think it's going to put on a heck of a show.
Yeah, this is actually, I was actually pleasantly surprised how much fun this track was to race. It was definitely a multi-groove track, especially turns 1 and 2. Obviously, you can go the short way down through 1 and 2, but then you have to deal with the bumps. But if you're on the top side, you're going longer around, but you get such good momentum off of 2 down the backstretch. So I think there's going to definitely be some strategy that can come into play on this one as well.
Yeah, I was noticing that too. Running the high line seemed to give me a lot of momentum, be able to try to make some passes there, be able to make some moves, and that seemed like it was very useful later on in the runs.
Yeah, so that's going to be also the thing to watch for is going to be that short run speed versus long run speed. Say we obviously know what to expect from that 13 car, but again, he's going to have to be a little more aggressive probably than usual here. Try to maximize all the points he can over that 94 of Maxwell Caldwell.
You see that pace car is off, and these guys are going to power it on into turn one here. Brandon's going to be leading them off as he is down low and got a pretty good start there on this going into turn one.
Yeah, sees Maxwell Caldwell able to follow Brandon through, so it's going to drop Ryan Kelly to third right off the bat there. Saying it's kind of that top line is definitely not where you want to be on the at least on the initial start. We'll see on the restarts how it goes. Of course, when the leaders have control of it, but that initial start they do go on green. So now you see Brandon trying to see if he can control the pace here up front. Try to see if he can lead lap number one. Looks like he will, but he's going to have that 94 Maxwell Caldwell all over him right off the start here.
The thing is, even though it's being Vegas and all, not being a restrictor plate race, the draft still kind of comes into effect here with these guys. These guys can still utilize the draft in the back stretch, gain some extra speed, and maybe be able to make passes like you can see right now for the lead. Maxwell Caldwell making the pass on Brandon.
Yeah, I was close off of turn two. So it almost looked like Brandon and Maxwell are going to make contact there coming out of two. Almost looked like you got that right rear quarter panel of that 23, but then able to, like you said, use that draft. Got the momentum, was able to cut it underneath him entering turn three, so that's going to give a bonus point to that 94 Maxwell Caldwell. Again, all the points that they can accrue here tonight's race, the more bonus points the better, just in case. You never know how these things are going to wind up. So Maxwell Caldwell doing what he needs to do early on. He's going to try to control the pace. Again, still early on, so we'll have to see what that number 13's got under his sleeves as well.
What is the fuel window looking like for these guys, like you said, with the reduced fuel?
You know, that's a good question. I want to say it's going to be in the 30 range. I want to say possibly maybe like 33 to 35, somewhere like that. So I didn't have a good chance to be able to ask anybody early on, say just try and get everything set up a little bit late on my end. But that being said, though, we'll definitely keep an eye on it and say if we get the opportunity, I'll definitely check and ask.
Yeah, that sounds about right, because I think we were at about 47 to 50 on our full fuel run when we got our race.
Yeah, same with, and then I think they're running about 60%. I want to say so. So we'll keep an eye on it. Say if we get a chance on yellow, I'll definitely hunt down some of the drivers and get some info.
Oh
no, you're good.
You see Brandon making a charge for the lead again there on Maxwell, trying to look on the low side there and trying to be able to make that move early on when these tires still got some grip in them.
Yes, and I honestly think this fighting is actually going to be helping Ryan Kelly because, again, we've talked about him being Mr. Long Run. And so I say if they keep fighting as aggressively as they are, that's going to abuse those tires that little bit more. And I think that's just going to give that advantage to that 13 car even sooner. As you can see, he is running that top line, or that middle line, I guess you could say, through 1-2, avoiding the bumps there on exit. And you see, but he said Brandon, though, all over the back bumper of that 94 Maxwell Caldwell.
What it does is those bumps will it'll definitely upset the car, and it'll cause it to kind of it'll hop up the track, kind of. It'll start acting tight, kind of go up the track a little bit as it's bouncing. It's almost like losing grip. So you definitely want to be careful there. As you see, we have a move for third place there between Ryan Kelly and Brandon.
Yeah, say Ryan's going for the inside. We'll see if he can clear, because that's the thing too. If you can't complete this pass here, say you're going to be in trouble because you can see the momentum that 23 is getting on the top side as they enter turn number 3. And so that's the other thing, is you can get inside, but then if you can't complete that pass, you're just going to get pinned down to the bottom. So say right now, advantage I'm going to say is probably to Maxwell Caldwell. You can see he's actually running the top line here, trying to give that 23 the draft as well, to try to hurt the 13's momentum. But it looks like Ryan's definitely on the charge here. Gets right to the back bumper of that 94 through turns 1 and 2, and is able to clear that number 23 of Brandon Pastelacos to move Ryan Kelly now up into second.
Nice pass there, Ryan. He really made that work, and it's not done yet. He still has to protect that low line, but you can see he is really on a charge right now. He is looking at our leader right now, tried to go high, stuck his nose up there, decides to go back up high. He's going to be right there, right alongside our leader of Maxwell Caldwell. He's going to try to complete this pass going into 1, but I don't think he's going to have that momentum up high. I think he's going to have to tuck out back behind him and give it another try here.
Yeah, you can see Maxwell still trying to make sure he had a good arc there entering turn 1, and say now Ryan's going to go for the over-under here. We kind of saw the same thing with Brandon earlier on. Oh, close there, entering 3, still close.
Almost touching.
I was waiting to see that 94 go around there.
Oh, gosh, this is so close. I can't handle this.
I say door-to-door at the line.
These guys, I mean, they are so close. It's ridiculous, man. can't put a piece of paper between these two cars right. And I mean, they're definitely making both of these lines work. And oh, so close. You see Ryan Kelly able to clear, or Maxwell Caldwell, sorry, able to clear Ryan Kelly there, but I don't think they're quite done yet. Third place is kind of caught up to these guys here.
Yeah, it's brought Brandon right back into the mix, and Mark Brown not too far behind as well in that number 68 machine. So I think what we're going to see here is Ryan Kelly's going to probably have to regroup and then make another charge. And I think what we saw there is and you saw where Ryan was kind of peeking to the outside of that 94 car. I think he's going to have to do that again, but I think has to be a little bit more aggressive, probably try to pinch Maxwell down a little bit onto the inside, because we just saw that was that momentum shift we saw where that really gave the advantage to that number 94 car on the exit there.
We got one heck of a grudge fest going on here. Back here, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. You got Jack Walls, Bud Steele, Todd Merkel, and Nicholas Wonk. They're all racing really hard back here for that position. Now, it looks like Jack kind of got the advantage on the 3, but those 3 back there are still fighting for position. You see 2 of them up high, and you got
Todd Merkel, yeah. Oh, I see one with smoke out the back. That's the 78 of Nicholas Wanook. Not sure what happened there, but he's definitely off the pace. Popped the motor in that car somehow.
Wow.
So saying I'm something must have gone on here. So I'm noticing a lot of these cars in the pits right now, all showing about 1 to 2 laps down. So I think there's something going on here tonight. I'm see Jim Brooks is a lap down, James Ledford, Art Peck. Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe somehow drivers are possibly in the wrong setup for tonight. I know sometimes they do have a mixed setup of qualifying versus race setup, so I have a sneaking suspicion maybe some of these drivers might be on the qualifying setup instead of the race one, and so that tape might be what's they're undoing right now. So we'll wait and see. We'll see if we get any cautions today, and I can go ahead and do some investigative reporting. But right now, though, we're still stay green here. But that being said, though, we've now only got 16 cars on the lead lap, and we've got 17th to 22nd, 1 or more laps down with whatever's happened to them there.
That's interesting. Yeah, hopefully it's not. Let me see if I can try to monitor the chat here. Hopefully it's not something to do with the setups.
I'll let you keep an eye on that. Let me know what you find out as I'm watching the battle here still for the lead. Looks like Ryan Kelly again making another charge entering turn number 1. I think he's going to be probably a little more aggressive on the entry here, and you can see he's going to try to get a little bit of an arc there in a 1 and 2. But again, that momentum on the top side advantage here looks like still holding to Maxwell Caldwell. But again, as Don mentioned, it's bringing Brandon Passalacqua right back into this mix. So Ryan Kelly not going to be able to get the pass completed here. Now he's going to be back under attack from the 23 as well. And we'll see the 94 again. He looks like he kind of at times is running the top side to give some momentum and some draft to that 23. Yeah, it looks like Brandon is going to grab that spot back. So move Brandon back up into second position. And also I saw a car creeping in the picture there. That's 17 of Chad Wilkes. Chad started in 9th and he's already up into 4th. And Chad's also one that's been learning as he goes about trying to save tires and be good on the long run. And he's definitely doing that right now, moving up 5 spots so far under the screen flag run. So I think we're going to see Chad up here fighting for this lead here shortly as well.
Yeah, he'd probably be up there really charging up to the front. But right now, Brandon looks like he's ready to make another charge here on Maxwell Caldwell. He kind of looks on the inside a little bit, but doesn't really force the issue too much. Those guys back there, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, they're just kind of looking like they're kind of stalking these two up front, just waiting for something to happen almost.
Yeah, I'm watching Chad as well. He took a look, and Ryan Kelly couldn't quite get it done. He lost a little bit of momentum doing it, so then he's going to get kind of a counterattack here if he's not careful. As I was going to mention Mark Brown, then here comes the 83 of Jack Walls. Jack now joining into this top 5 fight as well. So he's going to be right here in the mix as well. And then you see the car behind him, James Ledford. He just pitted for tires. There was one of those cars that I believe may have had some motor issues there early on. So he's going to come around through here off of 2 and see if he can go ahead and maybe make use of these fresh tires here.
And we got a battle for the lead again. It's Brandon. Oh, he tries to get underneath Maxwell, but he actually gets those tires underneath the white line. Car gets a little bit loose, bobbles a little bit, and it's be able to get Ryan Kelly right up on him. And looks like Ryan Kelly's going to be able to have the momentum to maybe make this pass going into turn 1, but Brandon was able to hold on to it. But yeah, it was a big moment there. He got below that white line, did it again just a little bit right there, and got a little bit pushed the car up the track a little bit.
Yeah, definitely don't want to touch the white line. I was going to say Ryan's going to have that middle to top line momentum, and so sure enough, that was what he was able to do to clear him. So right now, I'll say that's going to put Ryan Kelly back into second. So I really think Maxwell's going to have to try to keep that 13 car to the inside, because I think if Ryan gets to his outside, I think that's where Ryan's going to be able to make the pass and grab that lead.
And right now you see Maxwell Caldwell still with a pretty good, I mean, command of the lead so far. He's been able to control where the line is. You see Ryan Kelly back and forth right on his back bumper there. And it's a whole swarm of cars back there behind our leader, Maxwell Caldwell. So he's definitely got a handful to deal with right now. But and like I said, this draft here, even though it's Las Vegas, there is a draft. You can see these guys. Before Maxwell's kind of moving around to try to help Brandon in the 23. You see they're 3 wide for second place right now. Who is that powering up on? Oh, that's not for second place.
That's James Ledford taking advantage of those fresh tires. He wants to waste no time, because right now he's showing 5 down, so he's got to do a lot of work to try to make some laps back. Here comes Charles Johnson as well. Charles also on fresh tires. He's going to try to get some of these laps back as well. He's showing 2 down, so this would get him to just being 1 lap down in that number 28 machine. So, like I said, if and when we get a yellow, we'll definitely check to see what was going on there. But right now you see Charles Johnson trying to see if he can get around that number 94 of Maxwell Caldwell, and this could actually be an opening for Ryan Kelly. See if maybe he can take a little bit of advantage of maybe Maxwell losing some momentum with this. But right now, again, you can see Maxwell still holding pretty solid on that top side. Looks like Charles is just going to clear him off of 4. So we'll see if Maxwell's able to do anything here as they come through the start-finish line.
And obviously those fresher tires, he's able to get that lap back and be able to pass our leaders there, like you said. But unfortunately, still had those problems early on. And right now we do see a fight right now. As you said, it was probably going to open the door for Ryan Kelly to maybe make a move on Maxwell Caldwell. And looks like this is what he's trying to do now.
Yeah, so I think Ryan's got to run that middle groove that Maxwell's in right now, and that's where Ryan's having the difficulties at this point. I think Ryan is faster, or it's of course the draft that you can see there. Ryan is going to try to jump to the outside, see if he can get to his quarter panel. Can't quite do it though. Again, so usually you see these drivers protect the inside line. Here at Vegas though, you're actually protecting the outside a little bit. It's not quite as bad as Kansas, with that one being pretty much running the wall and only running the wall. But you can see the momentum, though, is just extremely powerful on that top side, though.
Contact right there a little bit, pushing Maxwell into the corner a little bit there. And like you said, I think Ryan is a lot faster. I think what the key is going to be here is Ryan's really going to have to kind of take that line away from Maxwell almost. He's going to have to kind of get into that corner and maybe be in a position where Maxwell can't run that preferred line that he wants to be in. And he's got to also watch out for guys like Chad Wilkes and Jack Wells right there. And as you see, there goes Ryan Kelly diving on the inside on the backstretch as they go into turn 3.
Yeah, say Ryan gets that inside, but again, we'll see how the momentum shifts. But you can see there, again, door to door, they're off of 4. I don't know how they didn't make contact there, but they still stay side by side here.
Chad Wilkes is going to only go with him right there.
Yeah, I say this will actually probably help Ryan here. He's going to have a little bit of extra draft, and he might, if Ryan can just send it deep into 3, might be able to just kind of do almost like a slide job, if you will. You can see he's just inches from being clear of that 94. Cannot quite do it though. But if he can get a good entry into 3 here, Ryan might finally be able to grab this lead here into entering turn number 3 and 4.
It looks like he's going to be able to inch in front of our second place. Oh, he's not quite clear yet, and he
there
is clear.
He goes. The same.
He got right in front of him, but but that momentum, he just got Ryan Kelly, or Maxwell Caldwell just kind of gives him a little bumper there and pushes him into the corner. And you can see, and they're touching door to door there. Second place or third place.
Oh, that was close. He got lucky too, because Chad almost got into the back bumper of that 94. Could have sent Maxwell around there. So that's going to now give that lead over back to Ryan Kelly. As you can see, that 78 Nicholas Winook right on the top side here again, unfortunately, had one of those motor issues as well. So he's going to get one of his laps back as well, which is going to put him, I believe, back to just 1 down. So now that 13 car finally has that lead that he's been hunting for so long, we'll have to see what he's able to do with that gap. But then also you look a little bit behind them, and they got a gaggle here behind. You see the 83 of Jack Walls. Maxwell Caldwell now actually pinned to the inside, so that's going to be advantage to that number 83 machine. So we'll see if Jack's able to complete this pass on that top side. And if he does, I think you're going to see Chad Wilkes try to follow through and kind of just keep that 94 car pinned to the bottom here, if you will.
And this is exactly what Ryan Kelly wants to see. He wants to see these guys battling side by side, trying to fight each other here and extend that lead just a bit. Because right now he has definitely extended his lead and kind of walked away from these guys just a little bit. Jack Walls is trying to reel him back in, to keep Ryan Kelly from getting too much of an advantage here.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Maxwell may have burned his stuff up a little bit there. He's gone now from first to fifth there in just the course of a lap and a half or so. You see, just touches apron there, washes up out of 4. Should be able to keep it off the wall. But yeah, again, say he was racing hard to hang on to that lead there. And again, we talked about Ryan, apologies, being kind of Mr. Long Run. So I'm going to wait and see what the lap times look like as they go. And right now, say the top 3 actually pretty much running near identical times to about the 5,000ths of a second or so of each other. So yeah, I'll say right now they're all on top of it. So I'm going to say right now I think if Ryan can get away from the draft of that number 83 of Jack Wells, that might be kind of where he can start stretching that gap a little bit. But right now Jack's going to do all he can, of course, as well to hang on to that back of that number 13 machine.
And right now, Ryan Kelly has pretty much showed the most dominance of any leader of the race so far. Again, Jack Wells and Chad Wilkes are racing side by side back there, and they're having to worry about Brandon in the 23. But Ryan Kelly has really kind of showed his dominance so far.
Yeah, so again, we talked about, it kind of feels like a broken record, but we talked about Ryan Kelly being Mr. Long Run, and he's doing it again now.
Yeah.
So on the bonus point side of things, obviously neither of them got the pole, so no bonus point there. And then from here, both have led a lap, so that's going to be a wash as well. So I think right now points difference still be sitting at that 21, I believe it was, entering the event. And so what we'll see now, though, is if Ryan Kelly can obviously, get an extra bonus point for leading the most laps and see if he can get that over that 94 machine. And then from there, of course, would be the bonus points for winning the race. Oh, actually, as Jack Wells here enters the pits out of 3 and 4. And saying this is on lap number 33, so he's splitting it. There you go, splitting it in thirds. Here comes Jack Wells.
And you were kind of talking about earlier about them maybe pitting right around 32, 33, somewhere around there.
So it was a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. So
sometimes.
Once in a while. But yeah, so say that's going to bring Ryan Kelly, though. Say he's going to still have that lead. Say just stretching out a little bit over that 17 of Chad Wilkes. So now that's going to be the next question is if and when these next drivers are going to kind of blink and make their pit stops, which it looks like right now everybody's staying out. And I was saying here at Las Vegas, I've noticed, Donna, we kind of saw that as well, where if you had slightly fresher tires, maybe like 5 laps or so, somewhere in that range, you could actually make pretty good ground on those cars that pit early. So let's say looking at lap times, they've fallen off by about a second and a half or so. Say their fast laps are right around the high 29s or so, and then right now everybody's running in like mid to low 31 second brackets. So let's say about a second and a half drop off here.
Yeah, definitely. These fresh tires are definitely an advantage here. I mean, it's totally obvious. And, so far we're seeing Ryan Kelly still out, has yet to pit. Chad Wilkes, Brandon, Maxwell, all these guys have yet to pit. So we've seen some guys already pit early, taking that strategy here. We're going to see how long Ryan Kelly's going to stay out. I mean, I think he's going to have to pit here soon, right?
Yeah, I would think so. So maybe around lap 40, maybe somewhere in that window might be the max in the fuel window. I see a couple more jumping in now. Looks like Robbie Richards, David Patton, they're in. But yeah, so say the two that pitted though, Jack Wells, Bud Steele, they obviously went with the let's split this race in third strategy. So you can see now Ryan Kelly working over that 28 of Charles Johnson, trying to put him back another lap down. Again, Charles was able to use those fresh tires there and get one of those laps back. But now Ryan Kelly's, again, we talked about just the speed that car has on the long run. He's actually able to get it back through here. Saying this actually would be a really good time as I was recycling through. Let's try to run through the field a little bit. So as we mentioned, Ryan Kelly, qualified second, is currently in the lead. Right behind him, that 17. Actually, now I'm sorry, the 23, Brandon Pasalacqua. Brandon in the second position now with that 17 of Chad Wilkes. So Brandon started on the pole, running in second now. Chad Wilkes started ninth and is up into a third. As we mentioned a little bit ago as well, that 94 Maxwell Caldwell showing in the fourth position. As they say, actually just saw him touch the apron a little bit there on the entry of 3 and 4. And then right behind him is the 68 of Mark Brown. And he started fourth and is currently running in fifth position. Jump back a little more. One big gainer here, Don. That number 388 of Doug Johnson started 14th and is up to 6th. So great start for him. Right behind him, you got Michael Spell in that mix as well. So you got a good little group here, actually. Michael Spell's right there. Corey Lane's right there in the mix with them as well. You also see Dalton Hayes in the 47, Todd Merkel in the 81. These are all from 6th to 10th right here.
Dalton Hayes moved up too. He started 18th, moved up to 9th, so that's a good run for him.
Oh, that's a great start, yeah, as well. Like you said, I just saw one jump in. That was Michael Spell hitting the pits here. I'm saying the other driver that's still on the lead lap is the number 80 of Diego Vasquez. He's about 5 seconds off that group in front of him. And again, we're going to have some drivers here now, laps down, just again do that pit stop cycle. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I said that is all of our lead lap carbs at the moment. It's obviously going to change as this run progresses. So right now the first car, well, Michael Spell will be one of those. But actually, here comes the 23 of Brandon. Yep, Paslakva. And I also see from behind Doug Johnson, he's coming in as well. And I see also Diego Vasquez. He's also going to hit his pit mark as well.
Yeah, Ryan Kelly and Chad Wilkes are still out on the track. Have yet to make their pit stops, but I'm sure they'll be coming in another lap or so.
I mean, if I'm Ryan here, I honestly think you run this long if you can. I mean, he's only, as I said, no, he's in the pits now in that 13 machine, so he's going to hit the pits. Aggressive entry. Hopefully he got it down to speed there. So that's going to hand the lead now over to the 17 of Chad Wilkes. He stays out another lap. And I'll say that was going to be my question is going to be, can some of these drivers possibly try to stretch it here to make it on a one-stop race? I feel like if Ryan's pitting now, I don't think that's feasible. So we'll keep an eye on that 17 and then, of course, the 68, 94 and see what they do here as they come around 3 and 4. And I think, yep, here comes Chad. He's in. I think Maxwell's in right behind him as well, as is the 68. So I'll say it's time for, it looks like pretty much this was the window for most of these leaders. Got a few staying out here. It looks like Corey Lane's going to inherit the lead. He's going to be with Todd Merkel, Dalton Hayes. These will be the top 3 right now as this pit stop cycle unfolds. I'll say again, I doubt anybody can stretch it to make it to the halfway point, but I say, well, again, though, you never know with the pit stop cycles if and when a caution can come out in a timely spot. And actually, I see the 10. He's fallen off the pace here. I think he may have ran out of fuel, or he's just positioning himself for a green flag pit stop. As we see fresh tires flying by these guys.
And he almost gets
Todd Merkel almost got into the back of him there. Not sure if Todd was trying to pit.
He definitely got hot on pit road, too. He slid his tires a little bit, but I think he got loaded down.
Yeah, so that was a close call for him. So that's now got Dalton Hayes in the lead in this number 47 machine. I'm saying still Todd Merkel also in that group as well that has yet to make his pit stop. Unfortunately, they lost a fair bit of track position trying to stay off the back of that 10 of Corey Lane. And you can see Dalton slowing here for the entry. So Dalton's going to make his pit stop. So now let's see if Todd Merkel, here comes Todd. So that's going to complete our pit stop cycle.
Yeah, no, I didn't think anybody's going to be able to make it to halfway, like you said.
It was close. They tried.
No, it was.
So now it's going to be all about the short pit strategy of those that pitted early, which I think was Bud Steele and Jack Walls. We talked about them splitting it there in thirds. And it looks like right now I'm showing Bud Steele's going to cycle around, I believe, as our race leader in that number 6 machine. And it looks like, so it looks like he did a normal. Oh, yeah, so that's the easy one to do here.
Yeah.
So now Bud Steele is our race leader by about 3 seconds over Ryan Kelly. I saw Ryan there was able to jump around Jack Walls, and that was for the second position here. And so now we got to see where Maxwell Caldwell is. He is in the 8th position in that number 94 car. So say right now Maxwell still I think is going to be in pretty good position. And say obviously still a lot of time to go in this race. But yeah, so let's keep an eye on him and see where he cycles through as well. But right now, race leader is that number 6 of Bud Steele. We mentioned that pit strategy with him and the 83. And say it's obviously worked really well here so far for Bud in that number 6 machine.
Yeah, he's going to make it work right now. And like we were saying before, being out front, being able to control this race seems like obviously the place to be. And Bud Steele has put himself in a position to be able to do that right now. And Ryan Kelly's trying to work his way back up there, but I don't think he has the speed right now to be able to catch Bud Steele. But like you said, some of these guys that short pitted, like Bud, we'll see how it works out for him. Yeah,
some lap times are going to be the thing to watch for now. So I was saying, I'm looking last time by, looks like Ryan was about 0.3 of a second quicker. So you can see it's about 2.3. And again, I say Ryan, we don't really see him kind of hit his stride until he's about maybe like 10, 15 laps into his fuel run. I'm saying Bud's got about 8 laps more tire wear than that number 13 machine. So say for those that pitted, so basically Ryan Kelly, Brandon Pasalacqua, and then Chad Wilkes, Maxwell Caldwell, they all pitted relatively recently. Probably the last of those green flag pit stops that are towards the front here. So I think they're going to be able to start chasing some of those short pitters down a little bit. Because again, we talked about just how fast the tires start to wear here, and then that's where that advantage really starts to come in.
And if these guys are like cutting these pit stops into thirds, and you're going to see some of these guys at first, you're going to see these guys coming up on their pit stops somewhere around lap,
66 or so, I think.
67?
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Another 20 laps.
Yeah, so yeah, about 20 more laps, and then we'll see them make their second round of pit stops here. Let's say because they'll want to pit with about 33 to go. But right now, though, everybody's still running pretty well here. So you can see Brandon Pasalacqua trying to get around the 12 of Robbie Richards. This is for the third position. So I'll move Brandon now back up into third. But again, you can see, though, he's about a second behind Ryan Kelly. And Brandon looks like he pitted one lap before that 13 car. So Ryan Hobbs just slightly fresher tires than him. And one we haven't mentioned, actually, that 38 of David Pettin, that K&N Camaro here, he started 16th, and he's up into the 5th position. So
wow,
also a really good start for him here. Yeah. He pitted on the same lap as Robbie Richards, so he's got a few more laps on his tires than that 23 and the 13 in company. But he's actually on pretty equal grounds as the rest of these guys. Sorry for the background noise. 4-legged one decided to make a running leap there on my desk.
Wanted to try to watch the race too.
Yeah, so he likes to be involved in this one any way he can possibly.
And yeah, you can see definitely the difference between these guys on fresh tires and old tires, whatever. As you can see right now, our leader.
Yeah, Ryan Kelly's there.
Passed by, yeah, right there.
Yeah, so I think Bud's starting to hit that cliff of these tires where you start kind of losing that speed. And so as you can see, Ryan's going to jump on by here. And again, so Ryan's goal here is going to be to try to, of course, also to lead the most laps if he can in this race, because that's going to give him just that one extra bonus point over that number 94 machine of Maxwell Caldwell, who's showing right now in 7th position. But the thing is, for Maxwell, you can see on the ticker, he's about 3 seconds off of Jack Walls in that number 83 car. So, and then he's also got a lot of cars right behind him with Michael Spells right there. And I thought I saw one more as well in that group. Let me double check and jump over there. That is, the 17 of Chad Wilkes as well in that mix here.
You can see the 23 also getting by Bud Steele here. Going to be shortly anyway. He's looking underneath him. So, yeah, Bud Steele, like you said, those tires are definitely wearing on him now. Yeah,
but it's one of those, I mean, it's maybe where it's like, okay, yeah, it might not be the race-winning move, but I feel like he's gained a lot of track position with this strategy.
Right. He has. He definitely has. I mean, he started from the 12th position. He's working his way all the way up to the lead. He's back down to 3rd now, but these guys still have to make pit stops, and we still have a long way to go in this race. I mean, we're just past halfway.
And that's the next question, too, is going to be, do these guys that went long the last time, do they have to maybe react and pit a little bit sooner than the 6, seeing that it took them about, just a little over 10 laps to catch that number 6 machine? Because again, you can see how much closer Bud is now this time around than he was the first time. So then you're like, okay, well, he's going to now be pitting within, let's say, 2 or 3 seconds of the leader. He was further back from that on the first run there. So it could be interesting to see who does what in reaction to this number 6 car.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, some of these guys are probably interested to see what he's going to do, like you said, because of the different strategies out here.
Looking around, I saw that 17 and the 83 or 94 that were battling a little bit. Looks like Chad's been able to get back around the 94 Maxwell Caldwell. So you see Maxwell now showing in the 8th position, and not too far away from that number 88 of Michael Spell as well. And Michael's one that pitted just about 3 laps before him, so not a ton earlier than him as they're working around that's the 78 of Nicholas Winook.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like he might be approaching. Yeah, he's gone 42 laps here, so he's not too far away from pit stops. I think he's going to try to stretch it as far as he can go. Nope, he's in.
Looks like Jim Brooks is going to get one of his laps back as he passes our leader.
Yeah, Jim's just waiting for that timely caution to be able to try to put himself back in contention. Again, I'm not sure what happened. I haven't had a chance to check with any of the powers that be or anybody on track, but Noticed that a lot of drivers had some motor issues and had to pit really early, so we're kind of thinking they may have somehow been on maybe a qualifying setup or
Yeah, I
something
think
like
that's probably what
that.
happened.
And so those motors got hot and they had to pit and get a fast repair and all that kind of stuff. So that's what put them down in the race so far. So right now, 15 cars on the lead lap though. The last, I don't think I actually had a chance to mention that Dwight Plush in the 44, he's right now showing as that last car on the lead lap, but he's got about, I'd say almost just about half a lap, 3/4 of a lap over that 13 of Ryan Kelly. So good job by him here.
Yeah.
But also got to mention though that 23 Brendan Pastelacqua, he's trying to close that gap down, Don. He was down to just about half a second. He's been running slightly quicker laps than Ryan Kelly, but I think now that cycle again on those tires is starting to swing back into the advantage of that number 13 car here.
Well, you'll see those tires equalize when these guys are on different runs like this, different tire cycles and everything. The tires will still equalize. Well, they'll both basically be the guys with the newer tire, the guy that pitted sooner or old or later. The tires will actually equalize on both cars, and it'll get to a point where these guys will basically just be running the same time.
We got a good gaggle here right now. Around the 4th position, you see the 83 of Jack Walls, 12 of Robbie Richards, 38 of David Penn, and then 17 of Chad Wilkes. So there's a 4-car battle right here. From 4th on back, you see Maxwell Caldwell also trying to join up in this little fight here. So this is a lot of potential spots that you can try to get in a short amount of time. But at the same time, though, if you're that three wide entering, I was about to say, yeah, and if you're that 94 car, though, you got to be careful because you don't want to get involved in anybody else's incidents because you want those bonus points for having a clean race. So as you can see, as I said that, though, he's going to go 3 wide down the tri-oval and try to follow that 17 through with those fresh tires.
Oh, and you can see he's trying to muscle his way through there. He's like, come on, boys. I got places to be. Get out of my way here, you know? And, yeah, this is definitely a grudge fest here, man. These guys are battling it.
So you see, though, what happened there is Maxwell now, he's back pinned to the inside. Chad's able to clear everybody. However, Maxwell got pinned underneath that 12 of Robbie Richards, so he doesn't have quite the advantage he was hoping to get there. As you can see, still can't quite get underneath that number 12 car, so right now Robbie's still going to hold on to that 5th position here. So that's going to open him up for that attack from the 83 of Jack Walls as well.
You can see Robert is just trying to hold him off, but he looks like the 94 is going to be able to get underneath him. Maxwell's got the momentum. We'll be able to see if he can carry that momentum into turn 3. It looks like he could drive it deep into turn 3 to be able to try to clear the 12 of Robert and be able to make that pass.
Yeah, so he just able to get it done there. You can see, though, he had to really send it there into turn 3 to make it happen. I'll say, and that being said, though, now that we got that one squared away, I got to jump back up front because Brandon has closed the gap even more. So you can see 0.2 of a second between the two of these, our two leaders here. Saying again, on the lap side of things, they only pitted a lap apart, so they're pretty equal here on their tires and everything like that. So say, actually, hats off to Brandon. Looks like he's learned after that first run how to kind of keep these tires underneath that number 23 machine. As saying, like Don and I were mentioning on the pit cycle as well. I think we're probably about 5 laps away from seeing some of those drivers make their last set of pit stops, like that number 6. Also, who was the other one that made that pit stop early on there? I think it was Jack Walls in 83.
Jack Walls, that's it.
So I think we're not too far away from seeing them make their second stop here.
Well, they should be soon. I mean, I would think they would be.
And again, I say we've saw the advantage that those fresh tires give. So I mean, I'm sure Bud's been able to adjust a little bit too. So, I mean, again, he's still just holding on to 3rd now. You can see Chad Wilkes is starting to slowly catch him. But I mean, it's taken Chad again. We're on lap number 37, lap 32 on the run for Bud Steele, 23 for Chad Wilkes. So I mean, it's taken Chad over 20 laps just to even get to that number 7, or from the 17 car to get to the number 6 machine. So again, I mean, if he does his short pit one more time, I mean, there's no telling if he's going to be able to actually catch him before the end of that race if he does if they do the same strategy here.
I mean, that is a good point. He might not be able to. I mean, he might not have enough time.
And I think that's where these guys that pitted later, they're probably going to maybe split. I think they might split the run in half instead of running it as long as they did on the first run. Like if you're Ryan Kelly, I think you maybe react to the 23 car, but I would say you probably don't react to from Bud Steele on back because again you've got that 4+ second gap over him.
I think he just called it out.
Okay, we'll take a look. We'll watch that number 83 car, and yep, sure enough, he's in. He's actually going to pit. No, that's right on schedule. This is lap 66, so that's going to bring the 83 in here. with on lap number 66. So again, 35 to go. So now next is going to be that 6 of Bud Steele. As you can see, that 17 of Chad Wilkes got around him. I have a feeling Bud's not going to want to pit right here in front of these guys. Actually, as I say that, you see him duck to the inside. Yeah, I'll say, here comes Bud. He's going to follow suit this next time around. So we'll watch that number 6 hit his marks there. You see, as I say, that's what you got to do. You got to call out your pit entry. Oh, loose on the entry. Now he's got to get it down to speed. Nice. I think he got in too hot there. We'll see, though.
I think he did, too. He seemed like he was carrying a lot of speed when you reaching that yellow line.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on that because, yeah, I say it looked like a pretty aggressive entry for Bud. So we'll see if he's able to get back out on track quickly or not. So with all the cycles going through here, that's going to move Chad Wilkes and Maxwell Caldwell up into 3rd and 4th, respectively. I'll say still Chad holding on to that advantage with those two. They pitted on the same lap. I'll say with Brandon and Ryan pitting a few laps later than them. Looks like Michael Spell in the 88. He's going to make his pit stop as well. Now, where's that 6 of Bud Steele? He's still sitting in the pits, Don, so yeah, he got busted on entry there.
And yeah, it looks like Ryan Kelly, I mean, these guys, these different pit strategies is just really unique to me. It's like how these guys can make this work like this. And I mean, like Ryan Kelly, the pit stops that they did earlier, or I'm sorry, I meant the 6 car of Bud Steele, the pit stops that they did earlier, it would seem to me that they maybe would do the same thing that you said the guy did before, is they'd split in half on their run to be able to the end of the run, you know what I mean? Like react to what Brian was doing, or Brandon was doing before the 23 car. Those guys that did it early would do the same thing, but I don't think they did that.
No, I think at this point, if I'm Ryan Kelly, I wait. Again, you don't want to get caught up by a yellow. So I think you wait. You see what the 23 does. You wait for him to make his pit stop, and then you might even still say again. I mean, at this point, obviously he needs to win this race to have any chance at try to close that gap on that 94. But yeah, I mean, again, they're the last ones that made their pit stops. Or no, actually, I'm sorry. They pitted 1 lap before Chad Wilkes and Maxwell Caldwell. So yes, I mean, at this point, yeah, I think he reacts to those around him, which I think I saw the 23 duck into the inside. I think he's going to make his stop. Yep, here he comes.
In right now. He is. He's pitting right now. I'm watching.
And so this is pretty much splitting this run up in half here, Don. So I say we're coming to 30 to go at the line, and he ran 31 laps. So this is splitting this run in half for the 23 machine. So now, if you're Ryan Kelly, do you react to this? Because again, you need to lead the most laps as well. That's going to be something that's going to be on his checklist that he's got to do here.
And has he come close? I mean,
he's been pretty dominant. Let's say once he took lead, he's kind of taken over. So we'll see though if he's going to react to it or not. No, he stays. No, he's coming in.
No, he's coming in.
He's coming in hot though.
He's coming in hot. Oh wow, he came in. Ooh, he's coming in really hot.
Lock those tires up on entry, so he's getting everything he can out of it. So we're going to watch this pit stop.
I was looking at him when he crossed that line, and oh man, I hope he wasn't speeding, but only he knows right now.
I say we're going to watch this pit stop and see once he leaves his box if he's able to go after that pit stop or if he's going to get that stop and hold as well. So we saw it happen to Bud Steele, unfortunately. Hopefully it doesn't happen to Ryan Kelly here.
Well, these guys are trying to get everything they can out of these cars, out of these pit stops, out of everything. Every single little second counts. I mean,
he got away with it.
Count. Yeah, he did get away with it. Wow, that was close.
That was close also. But now, though, you just see right in front of him, though, there goes the 17, there goes the 94. That's going to trap Ryan Kelly a lap down here. So Ryan's got to really hope that this thing stays green, because if there's a caution, yeah, so he might have to hustle a little bit here and try to get that lap back as quick as he can. But we'll see again. And that's where I think if I'm Maxwell here, yeah, you just... You know, as long as you have a solid finish here tonight, you're probably going to win the title. So maybe don't take the risk here and just try to run your pace here. So we'll wait and see on that one. But say Ryan Kelly, though, right now is about, I don't know, what would you say? It's probably about a half a straightaway or so behind that number 17 at 94 right now.
And like you were saying, you know, these guys had to react to what he was going to do. And unfortunately, or fortunately, there was no speeding penalty by Maxwell, but yeah, right now he's got to be able to try to chase down Chad Wells, and we'll have to see. I mean, laps are running down. These guys have, what, 26
to go. Yeah, next time by is going to be 25 to go. So you can see Chad's actually moving down to the bottom here. So right now we only have 6 cars on lead lap. Everybody else has been making their pit stops or are trapped a lap down, of course, from those earlier incidents that they had to deal with the blown motors. So yeah, so I looked at this point. It looks like Chad and Maxwell are just going to try to run this thing out, possibly before they make their final pit stop, and also probably hoping for that caution. So I'm trying to find Ryan Kelly. I think he's actually got some pretty clean air on that 13 car, and yeah, you can see he's closed that gap significantly. Don, last time by he ran a 30.1, and the leader's running a 31.3, 31.2. Yeah. So he was about a second faster than them. So I give him a few more laps, and he's gonna be there. And we'll see though. Maybe these leaders decide to pit right as he gets to them, just in case, you know. Almost kind of the strategy whereas if you're getting lapped down, you wait till you're not the lucky dog and then you make your green flag pit stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it's like, okay, we didn't trap him lap down. All right, now we'll pit.
But right now, I mean, Chad Wilkes is just trying to count these laps down, trying to check off these laps, trying to keep in the position that he's in right now, trying to hold off Maxwell Caldwell, who right now is still running faster lap times than our leader, and slowly but surely creeping up on him.
Yeah, let's say here comes our fresh tire of Ryan Kelly. He is there. I say he's going to try to make quick work of him because they'll say he's also got Brandon Passalacqua. Oh, Ryan's going to get blocked there, it looks like, by Maxwell. Say, did not expect to see that. Wow.
Yeah. But, yeah, it looks like he's going to be able to get by here. No problem now on the high side.
Yeah, so he's got the first car down. He's got to get one more. Saying the same thing, though. You can see, though, that 17 car, he runs the inside. Ryan Kelly not getting the right moves. Oh, as the 17 disappears for a second. Oh, my goodness, that's going to catch your attention.
Off the smoke, and yeah.
All right, so that's Ryan Kelly getting his lap back. But you can see, though, Brandon Passalacqua, he's not too far behind as well. Say Ryan lost a lot of time doing that. Say Ryan ran a 31.2 in that lap versus Brandon ran a 29.8. So that's really helped that 23 car to close this gap down on that 13.
And they are slowly but surely checking those times off. And like you said, having to deal with these guys, you know, guys that are laps down, guys that are on fresh tires, guys that are on older tires and everything else. I mean, it makes it really unique that we've had such a long green flag run, and these guys have to deal with all these factors in this race here, especially at the end when we're closing in on 20 laps to go.
Yeah, same. Brandon's definitely burning his tires right now. He's right on the back now of that 13 car. So now if you're Ryan Kelly, of course, I mean, you want to hold that track position. You need to keep the clean air in your car. You know you're good on the long run, but at the same time, you still got to probably push a little bit to try to keep that 23 behind you, because come the end of the race, who knows? I mean, Brandon might be a tough one to pass here, even if he starts wearing his tires a little bit more. But that being said, though, he's going to take a look. Oh, this look gets a little bobble there, loses a bit of momentum there as he comes through off of 2 here.
Well, you know, I mean, Ryan would rather Brandon kind of wear his tires down here and battle him without, you know, Ryan's in that unique position to where, you know, he's in front of him so he can kind of control it. He can take that line away from Brandon, and he can kind of be a pest a little bit to Brandon, you know. Brandon can kind of wear his tires out, maybe drive a little bit more aggressive than he wants to. And, you know, Ryan can almost make Brandon drive too aggressive, you know, and wear out his stuff.
Yep. I was saying, plus the dirty air and things like that.
Exactly.
I mean, actually, as Ryan there got a little tight there off of 2, able to keep it off the wall, but say he definitely had to work there. So say Brandon keeping him honest here. As you can see, Ryan's definitely taking a big arc there. You saw Brandon enter pretty shallow. Ryan's really arcing the turns out. So that's just a way to keep those tires underneath you here. So I'd say we talked about the tire wear. We'll say once you hit that magic number, that's when you're going to start seeing, I think, that 13 probably try to skip away a little bit. So you got to mention, though, right now, Chad Wilkes, Maxwell Caldwell, they just hit the pits. That's going to cycle the lead, I believe, over to the 81 of Todd Merkel. I'll say he's one of those ones that pitted really late, so I'll say he can probably still go a few more laps if he wants to. No. Won't be able to stretch it to the lead, or to the end, I should say, but at the same time, I'll say he's just trying to see maybe he can get himself in a good position here.
Not only those guys pit, but they pitted damn near identical. I mean, they were coming down pit road at the same time.
Yeah, so you can see him coming out of the pit road right now as that 13 slides on by. So now it's going to be see what the gap is between the two of them to Ryan Kelly once it cycles through back for him to the lead. But say it looks like it's going to be about a full straightaway between them. And actually, Chad Wilkes, let me look at their pit stops here.
I don't think he took 4 tires, or he took His pit
Chad
stop was
Wilkes
much
took
faster.
two tires. Chad Wilkes.
I was gonna say they came in damn near side by side when they came down pit road, and when they left, Maxwell Caldwell was far behind him.
Saying that's actually worked here for Chad, because you can see now he's right there with Bud Steele. He's right there with Michael Spell. So I mean, Chad's going to be right now working on the 5th position on that 88 machine. Whereas you see Maxwell now, he's all the way back into 9th right now. So saying again, we only have next time by is going to be 15 laps to go. Again, race leader still that number 81 of Todd Merkel. He's got about 8 seconds on Ryan Kelly, but again, we're going to see Todd here shortly. Unfortunately, he won't be able to stretch it to the end. So none of these drivers had enough fuel to make that happen. That being said, though, Ryan's still not done with that number 23 of Brandon Passalacqua. He is still all over him.
Oh yeah, he's all over him. He's definitely gonna have to. I think he's gonna have to battle with him to the end of the race here.
Yeah, so I mean, at this point we got 15 to go. It looks like Todd Merkel is in the pits, so that's going to be the last of our leaders to make their green flag pit stops. So now it's Ryan Kelly back out in front, but again, got a mirror full of that 23 of Brandon Passalacqua as we're watching from the back of that number 13 machine. And so again, I think Ryan here, he's just got to do what he's been doing all race and just trying to keep the gap until those tires maybe starts to cycle a little bit to the advantage of the 13 car. But again, I'm sure Brandon's learned a little bit as through these couple of runs here where he's like, okay, I did this and maybe that burned up my tires too much. So I'm going to try to do something a little different and maybe try to catch that 13 off guard here as we have 14 laps to go.
Oh, makes a dive to the inside. Still there. Got that car right there on that white line. Gonna keep it down there. Gonna try to get that momentum, but he doesn't have the draft for the car in front of him, so it's gonna be hard to be able to carry that momentum in the corner, and you can see really doesn't have too much, can't really do anything with it there.
Yeah, so I couldn't quite complete this, and that's the thing. I think that's why Ryan's if you're gonna give him a spot, you're gonna give him the bottom, because that's where the momentum is. I think they've all learned this as the race has gone on. It's like, okay, I can get to the inside of somebody, but I can't make that pass happen. So if he's gonna want to pass me, he's gonna have to pass me low. Which, again, I mean, it's a little bit risky, but again, we've seen the respect that these drivers give each other. They'll race hard, but they'll race clean, and we've heard Brennan even say that in some of his interviews that's what he's been really enjoying with this league. So, I'm sure he's gonna be enjoying the fact that he's able to kind of now return the favor, where he's gonna race Ryan Kelly hard, but he's gonna do it as cleanly as he humanly can.
Yeah, and he has definitely shown that so far. I mean, he's kind of got his nose up in there a little bit, and he hasn't really pressed the issue too much. I mean, laps are coming down. I mean, these guys are going to come to 11 to go here.
Yeah, next time by.
And I mean, these guys are right here together. We're going to see a great battle here to the end, because I don't know, man. I think Brandon. I kind of feel that if he can still get the advantage here, because as long as he doesn't let Ryan get too far in front of him, that at least he has a car in front of him to use that draft, to utilize that draft maybe on the last lap, to be able to make a pass. But
yeah, that's exactly right.
But right now it looks like Ryan Kelly is kind of walking away from him a little bit.
Ryan had a really good 1 and 2 there. They're getting around that 76 of Jim Brooks, and I was saying Ryan was able to clear the 76 through the turn and get all the way to the top and get your clean exit. Brendan was still to the inside of the 76 car, and saying that just cost him a little bit of momentum on exit, and so that cost him there. To say, we'll look at the lap times, and yeah, it's about just over a tenth of a second there. So he's going to have to try to claw that back here, as we do have 10 laps to go here at Las Vegas. Again, Ryan Kelly trying to do everything he can to get the win. Of course, try to see if he can have a chance to win the title as well. So right now, Maxwell Caldwell, his championship rival, who's leading going into it. Maxwell right now showing in the 5th position. He's got about a second until he gets to Jack Walls. So I was saying then he's got a little bit more to get to that 17 of Chad Wilkes again, who's on the 2 tires. So let's say lap time wise, though, so I'm trying to compare the 2 of them here. So where's Chad there? Oh, actually, yeah. Chad just got around Jack Walls there, so we'll see how the lap time cycle on a clean lap between the 2 of them. But it's gonna be tough. I don't know if Maxwell's gonna be able to grab that spot from that number 17.
And I don't know if Brandon's gonna be able to catch Ryan right here. Ryan's been able to keep the gap between him and Brandon pretty consistent, and I don't know. I don't know if Brandon's going to be able to have anything here for Ryan, because he's being able to be so consistent here on this long run or this later run.
Yeah, Sam, I went to go hunt down some of the what the points and bonus points are and things of that nature, and so yeah, say pretty much at this point the Ryan Kelly would have to hope for some bad luck for that number 94 Maxwell Caldwell. I think Maxwell's done what he needs to hopefully try to clinch his title again. Still don't want to count anything before it's over. But say I'm looking at the standings. As I mentioned, it was 21 points between the two of them going into it, and so it's pretty much a 1 point difference between them as they go through. Bonus points, of course, if you win that race, you get 3 bonus points. I believe. Let me find where's Ryan or where's. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, 1 bonus point for winning the race, and 3 bonus points for having no incident points. So with all things being equal right now, say Ryan Kelly would only be gaining about 2 or 3 bonus points on Maxwell Caldwell. And then you can see only about 3 points in front of him too. So I'd say that 21 point gap would probably be down to maybe 16 or so.
Ryan Kelly is doing everything he's doing everything he can do tonight. He's in the lead. He's trying to win this race. He's doing what he needs to do. He can't control, what Maxwell Caldwell's doing. He can't control what the other driver's doing. So all he has to worry about is his own race. And that's what he's doing right now. I mean, he's actually extended that lead on Brandon. So Brandon's definitely not catching him here in these closing laps with 5 laps to go.
Yeah, so I'm jumping over this battle now for the 3rd position. Chad Wilkes is finally, those 2 tires I think are not quite doing what he was hoping for. Maxwell Caldwell's caught him in that 94 car. As I think those 4 tires are just giving enough grip for that 17 or for him to get around that 17, I should say. And like you said, Don, we are at 5 to go here at Las Vegas. 4 to go now as Ryan Kelly crosses the line. And like you said, I think those tires has just started to make their turn there. And so Brandon gave it all he could there. But again, I think Ryan Kelly, we talked about kind of Mr. Tire Saver. I think he's starting to put the hammer down and just try to kind of stamp his authority on the race. And also, I think just you want to, same thing, you just want to get to that white flag as quick as you can to just not have the chance of having a caution come out as maybe you're coming out of turn 4 to get that white flag.
Exactly. There's Gael here trying to jinx it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's true. I apologize.
Ryan Kelly, he's extended his lead to just over a second now over Brandon, so that last lap. So, Brandon definitely hasn't done anything to catch him and close that gap up. And like you said, Ryan Kelly, all he's doing right now is just praying to get to that white flag.
Yeah, so it's probably a little mixed bag, actually. He's probably also thinking, a late caution, that might give a chance to have something happen to the 94 car. Maybe he gets caught up in it, lose some spots. I say they're teammates. I'm sure he's not really wishing for that to happen.
In the back of his head.
Yeah. We're all human. We're like, it'd be a shame if something would happen to you. Hint, hint.
I hate it for his guy.
Exactly. That being said, though, say Ryan Kelly half a lap away here to get that white flag. Say he's going to try to get the win here, and again, say maybe not getting the title that he was hoping for, but going to put an exclamation mark on his season here on season number 5. As he's coming around through the start-finish line, we do get the white flag, so this will be the final lap tonight. Say Ryan Kelly here started on second. Go ahead.
How about these Area 51 guys here going caution-free, flag to flag here, 100 laps at Las Vegas, man. That is a credit to each and every one of these drivers in this field tonight, because each one of these guys had to have a decent run to not have a yellow come out.
Yeah. Out of 4, here comes that 13 Ryan Kelly, gonna get the win here at Las Vegas. However, 23 Brandon Passalacqua, he's gonna grab the 2nd spot, but our season 5 champion is gonna be that number 94 of Maxwell Caldwell. So say again, it's a great run by Maxwell as well. They'll say those two were battling it out pretty much the last third or quarter of the season or so. And like you mentioned, Don, this is the second time in just 4 races that these guys have gone caution-free from start to finish. They did it at Michigan a little while ago. They do it again here tonight. As you can see, all the 17, 13, 94. Yeah, so they're all congratulating each other on the win, on the title.
Right there. Maxwell pulling up next to our leader. Congratulate him, our champion.
So we'll see if we get some dueling burnouts. So say we've seen that happen from time to time. But again, nothing these drivers can hold their heads on. Say Maxwell Caldwell, he's had 2 wins in the season. Ryan Kelly this will be win number 4. But what's propelled Maxwell to the title, though, is the consistency. He's got the 9 top 5s, now make it 10 top 5s out of the 12 races compared to Ryan Kelly. This is going to be his 7th top 5. So Just those couple races that the 13 had some bad races. 94 was able to capitalize on it, and say I think we're getting our wish here, Don.
Yep, nose to nose. I think we're gonna have dueling burnouts, our race winner and our season champion. A little bit sideways, not exactly nose to nose, but we're still getting dueling burnouts here between these two guys.
Yeah, I guess they need to do some practice on this in the future. It looks like.
Yeah, but no, what a great race. 100 laps in Vegas, like I was saying. Ryan Kelly coming out with the win there, and Maxwell Caldwell coming out with a third-place finish and our season champion.
Yeah, like you said, Don, a great job by all these guys here. Congrats to them. So I got to find my right camera angle here. So I lost it as I was poking around. There we are. So I say, oh, Ryan Kelly blows his motor doing his burnouts here. So we'll jump over to our race winner.
Well, they have a whole.
That being said, that's a 94 blew his motor too.
Fix it.
Yeah, so they're okay with it. All right, so we got to have some chats with our drivers. So we're going to do a little bit of a mixed order here. So we're going to start with our second place finisher, that number 23 of Brandon Passalacqua. So then we'll get to our race winner and, of course, our Season 5 champion. So let's go ahead and hunt down that 23 machine. All right, we have found him, so we're going to pull him into the booth. Let's say let Don have a word with our second place finisher, that number 23 of Brandon Passalacqua.
And I have Brandon Pascalacca here. Oh, I said it right.
How are we?
Our second place finisher. Great race tonight, man. That was so fun watching this race tonight, you guys. The whole field. Green flag the whole way, man. What a battle between you and Ryan Kelly there at the end. You were really trying to get to him, but Ryan just had a little bit more. You just couldn't quite catch him there. How do you feel about your race tonight?
Yeah, I'm super pumped up. It's such a privilege to be able to race in this league, and I don't have a lot of experience in iRacing, so just to be able to run in the league at this magnitude is awesome with these quality of drivers. So it was a fun night being able to put it on pole for sure, and then just running top 5 all night was great. At the end there, I know I was right there with Ryan for the most part, but I know he was saving his tires, and it was a little bit of a cat and mouse game. So try to get around them. It's also super tough to race these guys when they're going for a championship, and the last thing that I want to do is get in the back of them and turn them and ruin their night and their season because they work so hard for it. So hard spot to be in, but definitely a blast. Had a good time running up front.
Hey, how was your tire wear on these runs? These long green flag runs.
Yeah.
How difficult was it to be able to save those tires on these runs in between these pit stops here?
Yeah, it's tough, but there are tracks out there that it's a lot harder to manage. I know talking to my teammates, the conversation was maybe run a little bit higher, but just with my driving style, running on the bottom, just letting off the gas early on entry of the corner was what's the best bet for me in order for me to save tires personally. So it's hard to manage, but luckily in these Cup cars with the high downforce, they're very easy to handle still, I believe, on old tires. It's just hard to be fast. So it's definitely a game that you have to play with throughout the race. I'm terrible at saving tires. I know Ryan's great at them, so I knew he was just messing with me, but it's definitely a task, but it makes it interesting for sure.
Yeah, and yeah, definitely. I mean, tires are definitely hard to manage here sometimes. But hey, is there anybody out there each and every week? We're broadcasting these things that might have been watching you tonight. Might have been you might have been racing for a sponsor on that car that you want to give a shout out to.
Yeah, it's just my buddies at Dark Horse Racing. Nick and Charles were in on the race tonight, so I really appreciate them racing and being part of the team tonight. And then we have a few other guys for Dark Horse Racing. Those guys just make it a blast to run all day, every day with. So I appreciate them and their support. And then, of course, you guys in the booth again every week that I have the great opportunity to talk to you guys. I like to just tell you how well of a job you guys always do, so I appreciate that. And then Charles and his admin team at Area 51. Again, this is just awesome to be able to run with these high-quality drivers here. So I just appreciate it all.
Hey man, congratulations on your second place finish here tonight. Great race, and look forward to seeing you more and some more races next season out there.
Sounds good. Thanks, gentlemen. Have a good night.
You too, man. That's our second place finisher, Brandon Pascalacca. Oh, I said it right again, twice in a row, Gael. I'm so happy.
Yeah, it's a great run for Brandon there. Like you say, getting that second place finish. So I think we're going to switch over. We'll mix things up a little bit. We're going to go from second to our winner, and then we'll go to our third/season champion. So we'll go ahead and get Ryan Kelly lined up here and have a chat with him. Say we'll jump over. It says we can see him do some dueling burnouts there with that number 94 car. So let's go ahead and pull up our race winner, Ryan Kelly. Say Ryan did everything you could there. Say I definitely want to say you led the most laps and did everything you could there with Maxwell. Just not quite enough to close the gap there. Say honestly, I think the difference was just probably a couple of top fives between the two of you there that maybe kind of tipped the needle to the benefit of that 94 car this season.
Yeah, that's all on him because he was running top 5 pretty much all season. So it's hard to make up points when you're going against a driver that consistent and running that well.
So, I mean, take us through the race. I mean, obviously, you had to fight hard there to try to get the win in the first place because, I mean, it was tough sailing. It seemed like for you to get around that 94 initially. So you guys fought hard, and obviously the top line is definitely seemed to be where you wanted to be with the momentum there. I said you had a couple times where you got underneath them and just kind of didn't get that exit you needed to, and it looked like you had to regroup a few times and then go after then. Let's say, was there any concern at trying to even make the pass in the first place? Or, I mean, from your point of view, what were you thinking there?
Yeah, it was hard because the top line was definitely dominant, but I think the bottom saved tires just a little better. So maybe just trying to run on the bottom and just see if I could pass him on the bottom. But if not, hopefully he would be burning up his tires and I could just get enough momentum to get around him.
So you definitely did what you needed to make it happen there. Again, I mean, awesome season for you. Say getting the win here. Say I think that is win number 4 for you of the season. So again, great job there. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm sure everybody's going to look back like, oh, if I could have done this or whatever different there. But I mean, as a whole, I mean, you had a really great season. Say be able to come back and defend your season 4 title to get that second place in the points tonight. Say still not overall a pretty good season for you. So I'm sure that's going to leave you ready to try to fight strong here for season 6, hopefully coming soon, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's just a big shout out to Maxwell. Each and every week he was winning races or in the top 3 or the top 5, and he just had such a good season. So big congrats to him on the championship.
All right. Well, before we let you go, of course, I'm sure you got plenty of people that helped you out here and bring you to the races and everything like that. So definitely want to give you opportunity. Any thanks and shouts you'd like to give for your win tonight?
Yeah, shout out to Charles and all the admins for putting on another good season. Larry for helping us from the pit box this season. My teammates, Larry and Maxwell and Chad. And big shout out to Maxwell for the championship.
Well, again, congrats on the win there, Ryan. Like you said, gave it all you could tonight. Did everything you could to try to put yourself in position. Saying definitely, I'm sure we'll be watching for you again here in season 6 and try to steal that championship back from him.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'll see you in season 6.
All right, so that is our race winner, second place in the title, that number 13 of Ryan Kelly. Like I said, did everything he could there, Don. So just couldn't quite get enough on the points side of things. But like you said, though, I mean, did everything he could tonight to try to see if he could capitalize on anything. But that 94 car, though, he put no wheel wrong there. So I think you have caught up with our third place finisher and our season 5 champion, that number 94 of Maxwell Caldwell.
Yeah, we are here with our third place finisher, but more importantly, our season champion, Maxwell Caldwell, and the number 94 car. Maxwell, first, let's go over quickly your race tonight and how you felt about how you did tonight.
I'm not gonna lie, that setup was a struggle for me. When it's tight from lap 1, I know it's gonna be a long night. My big thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to attempt to get as many bonus points as I could, just in case something bad happened. Because I remember last season here at Vegas, I think I finished like 10th and just struggled all night. So my goal was to do a little better than that. So I got up front pretty quick. I got a great start of the race. Got past Ryan, and then I was able to get by Brandon there pretty early to start leading some laps. And I held off Ryan as long as I could. I knew he was going to pass me. It was just a matter of how long could I hold him off. But I think it was around lap 20, something like that, he finally got by. And once he did, he started putting a gap on everybody. I just held everybody up at the start. Fell back to like 5th, 6th, maybe 5th, something like that. And then just started running with Chad the rest of the night. Just tried to work with him on the second run. And then the third run, he took 2 tires there. And I think I got a little bit of a better entry into pit road. But was just hoping the 2 tires were going to give up on him. And I don't know if it was traffic that really held him up or if the 2 tires just gave way. But I finally got by. Then when I realized I got by him, I thought, man, I'll probably be back in 5th. And I looked and it said 3rd, and I'm like, oh, this ain't bad. So I just tried to ride it out till the end there. So for finishing so bad last season at Vegas, and this used to be a really good track for me, and I've kind of lost it, to come home 3rd tonight is almost a win because, man, I didn't think I was going to finish hardly top 10 at one point.
I mean, how difficult was it to manage those tires tonight? It seemed like a few guys struggled with that since, obviously we had a green flag run all night.
Well, that first run, I knew I abused them because I was really, with as tight as the setup was, I was thinking some people would try to make dive bomb passes into 1 and 2 and just start sliding up and be a couple cautions there early, and that just didn't happen for me. So I knew that first run I ran hard and just thought maybe clean air would be the best, but in all reality, it didn't matter. Ryan's going to save more tire no matter what you do. I've tried to mimic him. I've tried to do my own thing. I've tried to follow him and try to run his line. No good. He's like Kevin Harvick here or something. Like he's got his own line, his own thing, and nobody can really mimic it. So I just got to do the best I can. Races that have a lot of cautions, I feel like I got more short run speed. But man, track like this, long run, he's got it.
Well, more importantly tonight, the season championship. How do you feel? You are the season champion, and how do you feel about how your season went? And overall, who do you got to thank that supported you behind that?
Oh, man. Well, first off, the season didn't start out too good. I think I had one finish of like 17th or 18th at Homestead whenever the fuel strategy went amok. And then I had a wreck at Indy on the last lap out of the last corner that made me finish 14th. So those 2 races I wished I could kind of redo and maybe catch the caution different at Homestead and not get turned out of turn 4 on the last lap at Indy. But other than that, man, I think me and Larry were talking about earlier. I think other than those 2 races, I think it's been solid top 5s all season. And compared to last season, how I was maybe a little too aggressive in my first season. So I calmed it down a little bit in the beginning of the season. But just to be that consistent, I think is pretty good because, I mean, all the cautions and all the lap traffic and all the variables you have over 12 weeks, I mean, can't have too many mulligans. Normally Ryan's pretty consistent, so I thought really he was going to have it until he had a couple of bad races later on. So it's just neat to see that I was able to string together that many top 5s, and I think even top 3s. I want to say the last – I may be wrong. Y'all can fact check me. I think it was the last 6 races. I think I had top 3 finishes, and I just was like, wow, I've never done that in the league before. So just kind of exciting, just consistent, and got to run hard. It was fun.
Well, congratulations on your 3rd place finish. And obviously, like I said, more importantly, the overall championship. Like I said, is there anybody out there that you want to give a shout out to, a thank you, a sponsor, or anything like that helped you through this season?
Oh, absolutely. As much as me and Ryan were going after each other, man, I couldn't ask for a better teammate. Sitting there laughing during the races, joking around, helping each other with maybe not during the race with pitch strategy. I don't think that happened much, but just in practice, if I was struggling with a car, he tried to help me figure some stuff out. If he was struggling with a car somewhere, I tried to tell him what line I was running, and we tried to run together in packs to see who could save more tire and what line was faster and all that stuff. Larry on the box for Ryan kind of, in a way, helped us both, except in the race. Like, again, he would help in practice quite a bit with us. But Chad Wilkes always running with us and having fun. And the races he was able to run this season, he was just a great teammate on track and raced us clean and helped us in times we needed it. We was able to help him. Just total camaraderie there for the end of the season. It was just awesome. But Roy Wheeler, I really want to thank him for painting up this hot rod, man. I was supposed to run it in the Super Speedway Series, and due to some life circumstances, it just didn't work out to where I could be there on Sunday night. So even though he sponsored me there and I didn't run but one race, which I feel bad, at least I can say I brought him home a Cup Series championship in it. So I want to thank him for just having enough faith in me to sponsor me on this car. And who knows, maybe he can try to sponsor me for some Cup racing again soon or something. I love it. So and last but not least, man, just thank Jesus for how awesome he is and giving me the opportunity to even be here tonight to race, man. Without him, I can't do anything. So it's just awesome, awesome, awesome.
Yeah, again, congratulations, man. Way to go. Great finish tonight. And like I said, more importantly, your new Area 51 champion, Maxwell Caldwell, number 94. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. And thank you guys for the broadcast. Y'all have done an amazing job this season. Can't wait to see what you do next season.
All right, it's our season champion again. Congrats, Maxwell. Say good seeing you get this one. So That being said, though, we got to go through some of our other craziness here as we finish watching the burnouts and say, I did, while he was talking there, Don, I was doing some research there, and he's not wrong. Say, of those top fives he's got, only 2 of them were not the top 3 finishes. So, like I said, he ran off a solid string of top 3 finishes in that number 94 machine, kind of culminating with one more here tonight at Las Vegas. So, see, like you said, a really great job by him tonight. So, that being said, we got to pull up some results for the other drivers here. So you see, of course, race winner Ryan Kelly gets the 2nd place in the championship. Brandon Pasolaco did everything he could to keep Ryan honest, just couldn't quite get around him there at the end. Burned those tires off, trying to get by him. And Maxwell Caldwell winning the title here, bringing it home in 3rd position. Chad Wilkes in 4th, Jack Walls in 5th. Then you got Robbie Richards, David Patton, Michael Spell, Mark Brown, and Corey Lang rounding out the top 10. 11th through 20th there, you've got Diego Vasquez, Doug Johnson, Todd Merkel. Those are the last drivers on the lead lap, and then you've got a couple drivers 1 lap down of Dwight Plush, Bud Steele, but of course getting busted on that speeding penalty under his green flag pit stop, unfortunately. And I say had some drivers that got caught in some stuff early on there. Either I say it sounds like they may have actually been a tape issue for some drivers, maybe just ran a little bit too hot. That's where we saw some motor issues, and I guess there was actually an incident early on that we weren't able to catch that didn't actually even bring out a yellow, and that's why we saw some other drivers pit early there.
So we missed basically a wreck.
An incident somewhere early on, unfortunately.
I didn't see it.
So they're sneaky about it. So unfortunately, that's why you see some of those drivers a little further back, like Jim Burks, Charles Johnson, Nicholas Winoka. We saw Nicholas blow that motor in the 78 machine.
Well, at least we got behind the mystery.
Yeah, it's always good to know somebody. So we're able to find out about that, and they see Mike Morrison, Art Peck. Unfortunately, I believe they were caught up in that as well. And so you got Charles Teed. I don't believe he took the grid this evening, unfortunately. I say Charles has definitely been having a really good season though in that Indy series. So say look forward to watching him some more as he gets some races under his belt. With that being said, though, Don, say somehow it's already been 12 weeks and we've got a Season 5 champion and got a couple weeks. I'd say off, but they're gonna say Area 51. They can't sit around and do nothing. Say they're gonna have some fun races. They're gonna have a 3-race all-star events where the overall champion is gonna be based on the best average finish of the 3 races. So it's gonna be with the Indy cars, it's gonna be with the Cup cars, and it's gonna be with the Super Speedway Cup cars. So I believe we'll be presenting that here on Green White Checkered TV as well, so I'm looking forward to being a part of that. Wish I could race it, but I'll let the pros do their thing there. And then, of course, going to have actually some money races as well with, I believe, all 3 of the series as well. We'll definitely have some more info for you on that one. Hopefully I'll get some more info by Sunday. And, of course, if not, though, remember, you can find Area 51 Racing League online at area51iracing.com. Before we get going though, Donna, definitely want to give you let you give some final thoughts on tonight's race and just the Season 5 in general here.
Oh man, tonight's race was so fun to watch, man. They had some, door to door battling the leaders. The leaders were banging doors and making contact, but yet, obviously we had that incident that we missed earlier on, but no cautions, flag to flag, nothing but green flag racing. And what an amazing season for Area 51. Congratulations to Maxwell. Just a great season. I appreciate you having me up in the booth for this season. I had a blast calling these races, and I do appreciate it, Gael.
Pleasure's all mine. Always love having you on board. So if you're ever interested in doing it again, let me know. Doors are going to always be open for you. So thank you, Don. Really appreciate everything you've done, and I think you've helped things so much here through Season 5, getting your voice with me on this one. And then, like you said, again, I want to really thank everybody who's been watching, have had some really great dedicated viewers. That means a ton to us. And then, of course, all of the racers and of course, all the admin team kind of taking a chance on me to even start this thing up a few seasons ago. It's like, hey, you want to try some broadcasting? Okay. And to see where we are now, it's leaps and bounds. We're further along than I thought I'd ever be. So Charles, Jim, Michael, all the admin team, really want to thank you all for giving me the opportunity. I've been having a blast with this. You guys put on an awesome league, and I love being a part of it. So thank you for that. And then, again, congrats to all the drivers. Great job tonight. Again, as you said, caution-free tonight here. Caution-free at Michigan a few races ago. I think it's just a sign of what's things to come here. Especially as these drivers get familiar with each other and know what they can and can't do. And I say I look forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So that being said, definitely want to wish you all a happy Friday Eve. Almost there. Happy October. Hopefully weather, well, depends on where you live. Don and I, hopefully the weather will get a little bit better soon because it's hot in here in Arizona. For the rest of you, sorry, it's going to get cold soon. But yeah, so that being said, though, again, I want to thank you all for joining us. Happy Friday Eve. And of course, we'll see you on Sunday evening for the Super Speedway Cup Series at Daytona for their season finale. And until then, of course, if you can, try to stay home, stay safe, and wash your hands, and have a good night.